Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. I've gained a couple subscribers since the last video, and maybe you're like, okay, well, I was interested in what she had to say because I was sharing the story about my dad. And I just want to let you know, for all the new subscribers and the old subscribers, that this channel will definitely be multifaceted. I am an actress, so I'm definitely going to be talking about that. I'll be talking about my family dynamics and what's going on in my personal life to an extent, and maybe even love and relationships. We'll see. But make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you know when it happens, okay? And then hit that bell right next to it so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video, because trust me, you ain't gonna want to miss this. Today's video, I want to talk all things SAG strike. I've gotten a lot of people that's been asking me, what's going on with the strike? What's up with the strike? Why are you guys striking? Can you tell me about the strike? And so I'm gonna do that just for you. Sit tight. So like I said, I want to talk about why SAG-AFTRA is striking and how exactly we got here. It's important to know the history and how things were run and how things are running now to make the connection. So I'm going to detail that for you. But before that, I want to give you a little background on me, especially for those of y'all who are new. So I have been acting professionally for 10 years. I've been repped by my incredible agent for 4, and I booked my first co-star on TV in 2021. And since then, I have booked 3 more. So I have 4 co-stars under my belt, even though the 4th one I didn't shoot yet, and we'll get into that later. After my 3rd co-star late last year, I had to join SAG. So I've been a member since October 2022, which makes me a 10-month-old SAG baby, okay? Period. And, you know, I'm really grateful and thrilled and excited. This is a dream come true for me to be a member of this union, and so love it down. And I did my first professional theater contract at the top of this year. So I got a little something under my belt, okay? And even though I'm a baby in SAG, this strike is really monumental. It's a game changer. I agree with it wholeheartedly, so much so that I voted for it. I authorized it. And, you know, it's very hard. It's not easy, but I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, and I'm going to make sure that I get everything that I'm owed and everybody else gets everything that they're owed, and that the people that have a dream like I do coming up behind me will get what they're owed and will have a career to even dream about. People are asking, why is SAG-AFTRA striking? There are a number of reasons, but the biggest ones are pay, residuals, healthcare, and AI protections. I'm going to go into more detail later on in the video about our proposals and the AMPTP's counters, and so just sit tight for that. But first, let's lay the groundwork. What are residuals? Residuals are union negotiated payments that writers, actors, directors, and others receive from a studio, producer, or distributor when a movie, TV show, or internet production is rerun or reused in a different medium. So what that means is, basically, before there were streaming services, if you were in a movie that was released in the movie theaters, or if you were on a TV show, whatever that rate you got paid to do that work, when that project gets re-aired, which is a rerun on a network, or it gets re-aired on another network, whatever the case may be, you get a check. It's not the same thing they paid you originally. It's a percentage cut. Let's say, for argument's sake, 50%, right? So you'll get that check in the mail. And then each time it reruns on that network, it'd be a different percentage cut down. A lot of times, especially when you think about the shows that are on syndication, that those residual checks would pile up and add up to something pretty nice. But now we're in a completely different day and age. We have new media. Now, new media is basically a word for streamers. That's your Netflix, your Hulu, your Paramount Plus, all of those, okay? Streamers, Amazon Prime, streamers, right? And because new media allows viewers access to content 24/7, the residual percentage rate is structured differently. If a project is up on a streaming service, the percentage rate is applied for the first year, then continues to decline until year 13. From there, the smallest percentage rate is applied in perpetuity. Now, whereas before streamers, every time your project gets aired, you get paid. With streamers now, basically you only get paid once a year. Once a year. And then each year thereafter, it declines. So that's how, I don't know if you guys have seen, like Orange is the New Black actors, they're showing their residual checks for pennies, because it's years, like over 10 years later since that show is aired. They not shoving out any kind of money, and they only paying once a year. Love that for us. That is basically how we got to where we are today. SAG's contract gets renegotiated every 3 years. Now let's go into depth with our proposals and what the AMPTP countered. First, we're going to start on page 4 that talks about economics, inflation, and wage invasion. I'm not going to talk about every single proposal, but just want to highlight a couple. The first one is the minimums. Now, SAG proposed an 11% general wage increase in year 1, 4% in year 2, and 4% in year 3. They countered with 5% in year 1, 4% in year 2, and 3.5% in year 3. So I just want to tell you guys what just for my experience as only having done co-stars, what the rate is and what that increase would be. The rate for a co-star before the strike was $10.82 for the day, $1,082. Now, with the 11% general wage increase, that would be $1,201.02. Now, that's just gross, okay? What you take home will probably be closer to $1,000. Now, what the AMPTP is saying, they're willing to increase it by $54, which brings it to $1,136. That seems like it's not a lot, but as you earn more and more, because obviously co-star is the lowest tier, once you get to recurring and series regular or lead in a movie or whatever the case, that number increases, and so that increased wage would be higher. But trust me, you feel it, especially after taxes. It's necessary. We need that 11% increase, but we'll see if the AMPTP will meet us there. Who knows? Next one I want to highlight is the new media revenue sharing. What SAG proposed is cast share in the revenue generated when their performances are exhibited on streaming platforms. This would allow cast to share in the success of high-performing shows, and the AMPTP rejected it. Now let's just paint the picture, okay? Like how crazy this is. You're on a TV show. Let's take case in point, Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black put Netflix on the map. All right? They're getting residuals like once a year. So they have nothing to really show for the incredible work that they've done, that they've created. It's actually abysmal. and shameful that they won't even share in the revenue. However they're making this money, however they're figuring that out, they know because they're getting it. They're getting billions of dollars and making that off of our backs, but they refuse to share in that revenue. You're looking funny in the light. Now the next big thing is AI. This is a big point of contention for actors and writers. So what SAG proposed is establish a comprehensive set of provisions to protect human created work and require informed consent and fair compensation when a digital replica is made of a performer or when their voice, likeness, or performance will be substantially changed using AI. The AMPTP failed to address many vital concerns, leaving principal performers and background actors vulnerable to having most of their work replaced by digital replicas. So one example, our chief negotiator, Duncan, oh man, I forgot his last name, but his name is Duncan. He said that in the negotiation room, the AMPTP was trying to have background actors come in for one day of work and take a complete scan imaging of their likeness and use it in perpetuity. Do you know what the SAG background rate is? It's like $200. So for $200, they're going to call a background actor in, use their likeness, and then send them on their merry way so they never get paid ever again. Turn this on. Turn it on. It's not right. It's not right. And then, not to mention, actors can be in a position where it's sort of like that episode of Black Mirror on Netflix where they're using your AI to tell a story that you yourself may not have agreed with or wanted to be a part of in real life. And there's no control. You have no control over that. And that's not fair. Now, how has this strike affected me? Well, my auditions have gone down significantly. Theater is very spotty and, I'm not really auditioning like that. I'm not really auditioning, period, for TV film. And that fourth co-star I told you about, I was getting ready to shoot before the actors called their strike. But it got canceled because of a writer's picket. Now, let's talk about the writers real quick. The writers have been on strike since like April. Maybe May. I think May. It's been 3 months. So April, May. Sometime, somewhere, like maybe late April. Anyway, they've been on strike for a very long time. And their concerns are pretty similar to ours. They're looking for an increase in pay and residuals, fairness in their writers' rooms. These streamers, these networks, these producers, they're trying to shrink them down. And ultimately, the goal, I think, is to have an AI write out a script and then hire one writer to edit it. That's what I've heard is the goal, and that is just disgusting to me. So they have been on strike for 3 months, and because they haven't been writing any new material, my audition started going down back in April, May. And when I did book this co-star, I was excited to get it. We weren't on strike yet, so technically I could still work. And I was on my way out to set, and they were like, yeah, it's canceled because there are picketers, and so we're not going to be able to shoot today. So that happened, but it's all good because I know once this resolves, both for the writers and for the actors, I have a job to go to. So that's really exciting. How can you, as the viewer, as the friend of Candace, as a supporter, how can you support our strike? First, you can go to SAG-AFTRA That details a lot of what I've talked about, and it also gives guidelines for us that we're following during the strike. You can always join us on the picket lines, And that's also detailed on the website. And last but not least, a lot of people are like, should we cancel our subscriptions? Should we boycott that streamer, that network, da 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 da. SAG has not put out any guidance around that. They have not recommended that the consumer boycotts or cancel subscriptions. And I think the reason why is we want to have work to come back to. So let's say the show that I was in on Netflix, it was the first season. And, you know, if everyone all of a sudden cancels their Netflix subscription, then what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, see, we lost all these subscribers and it was because of your show. We're not going to renew it for another season. And then all of those actors are out of work. So we want to continue to support the work that we love. Continue to support the movies and the TV shows and watch them and run those numbers up until other guidance is given, so that once we do go back to work, we can continue to make those stories and create those stories. That is it for now. If you have any questions, be sure to write them in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching this whole long video. I really appreciate it. I have a dinner to get to and I have to change because she's going to be here in like 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I go, please, again, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell right next to it so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching. See ya.